If everybody's relying on you as the coach for their success as the teammate, then you have a culture that is breeding high maintenance, low production. What a freaking nightmare that would be. All right, we're back. Episode number 9. First off, we apologize. We've been traveling all through Europe, all over the place. Guest speaking events and company trips and just vacations. And so I apologize because we got a little bit off schedule, but starting now, we are back on track for every Sunday morning episode drops. I appreciate all the love, support, the shares, just constantly all the messages, all you guys in the broadcast channel following the Goat Sledge. Tons of love. We're up to like 13, almost 1,400 people in there, which is super cool. Just social media content packed. If you're trying to find it, you could find it on my Instagram. If you go to my profile, it's right on the front in my bio. Constant how to grow your social media and access to tools and really just elite, typically invitation only type of tools and access. So anyways, thanks for all the love, you guys. We got a big topic today on two-sided topic. So the side angle of in building a business and also the side angle of coaching, people in your business. And so we're going to be looking at like both sides of that because it's a two-sided coin that I think if you understand it from both ends, you could become the best version of yourself in business. And then also you could be the best coach in business. So we're talking about the difference between high maintenance, low production people and high production, very low maintenance people. And we're going to spend a little bit of time on both. And I wrote down some notes. So if you see me looking at my phone, it's just because I want to be the most effective. And I wrote down some key points on this. But let's talk about the profile of a high maintenance, low production person in business. High maintenance, low numbers. They require a lot of work, but they don't make you a lot of money. Okay, that's the kind of person we're talking about. So what are some of the characteristics? I wrote this down. I said, these people often rely on others for solutions to all their problems. So as we go through this topic, I want you thinking about you. Who am I as an entrepreneur? Am I high maintenance and I'm struggling to put up any numbers, but I require a lot of time, effort, and energy and coaching and attention from my coach, but I'm not really delivering on that? Or am I the person who maybe I'm super easy, man? Like I don't have a lot of problems and I'm smashing out of the park. Well, that's every coach's dream teammate, right? Dream business partner. But high maintenance people often rely on others for solutions to their problems. They frequently have emergencies and they struggle to figure things out on their own. What does that look like? I'm trying to think in my business, how many people do I have that fit this description? Listen, a high maintenance person, they're not self-sufficient for a lot. They constantly need attention. They constantly have problems. They constantly have emergencies. They constantly have some thing they're trying to fix and something they're trying to solve. If this is you, here's what I want you to think about for a second. How much of it is a need to actually fix something because you're incompetent of doing it versus how much of it is a need for attention? What I've come to find is that a lot of times people that are high maintenance, it's not that they're stupid. It's not that they lack the skill set. It's not that they're incapable or incompetent. It's that they want attention and they don't have numbers and results that will get them attention. So they find attention in the fact that they constantly need help. They constantly have a question. They constantly have to figure out and solve some sort of a problem. And they can never get it done on their own. So they always need other people to help them do it. That's a high maintenance person. What else did I put down here? They struggle to figure things out on their own, and it demonstrates a lack of resourcefulness and mental laziness. A lack of resourcefulness means I'm not creative. When something goes wrong that I could have just, Googled, I don't Google it. You ever know someone who goes in the group chat, hey, everybody, what does this mean? And someone's like, well, if you Google it, here's what I found on Google. That's a lack of resourcefulness. It's mental laziness. It doesn't mean you're lazy as a person. It means you're mentally lazy. It means you could have thought one thought deeper and probably found the solution on your own and not needed to disturb everybody else in the group chat. Because then your question prompts 25 answers, right? And it's just a complete unnecessary situation. You probably could have thought one thought deeper, but you didn't. Mental laziness. Despite constantly coaching someone who's high maintenance, they typically seem to always put up and produce low numbers. Now, from a business standpoint, what impact does that have on the business for you as a coach? Well, here's what I will tell you. It probably drains all your energy. You may not realize how much it drains the leadership team and the leadership time of energy. But it does. See, I wrote this down. I said, high maintenance agents drain leadership. They don't bring in significant results, and they slow down all team momentum. Now, here's what I've come to find about high maintenance people. They're usually stuck in reactive mode. They're not proactive, and they're not taking control of anything on a daily basis. Instead, they wake up, they go with the flow, and they constantly react to everything. Everything that hits them knocks them off track. One message ruins their whole day. One thing screws up their whole schedule. See, high maintenance people typically have a lot of free time on their calendar, and they're putting up no numbers, and they just respond and react to everything all day long. They're not proactive. They're not in charge of their day. Now, here's the challenge. I want to read you something real quick that I wrote down from The Law of the Lid. So The Law of the Lid is a book from John Maxwell talking about how as a leader, you have a lid. And the lid is what goes on at the top of the cylinder, right? The top of the cup, the top of the container, the roof of the house, that's the lid. And you can't get past the lid. And the law of the lid, I said here, your business can only grow as much as you and your agents grow. But if you spend too much time wasting time with these agents, it hinders our ability to focus on scaling the business and giving time, effort, energy, and attention to high production people. So let's say you've got 100 agents or 100 employees in your business, whatever business you're in. There's probably 5% of them that are a liability. Like, these are people that are bound to get you in trouble, bound to have a compliance problem. 2 to 5 of them, the very bottom, like the worst of the worst. They're bound to get you sued one day. Like, these are the people that, they don't follow the rules. They don't care about the compliance. All they care about is themselves. They're gossiping, talking smack. Everybody's got it. Out of 100 people in any company, there's 2 or 3 at the bottom that are just trouble. And you got to find a way to get rid of them eventually when you identify them. Then you got like 85% of your team. 80 to 85% of your team is only going to put up about 20% of the numbers. So these are 80 to 85% of your people that really are not putting up big numbers. But they're not all necessarily high maintenance either. Most of them probably just show up on a daily basis and do their thing. But you got some of those people that constantly need attention. Hi, I have a question. 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 And do you ever notice how that same person, and you're going to have someone pop in your head when I say this, that has a question, they asked like 7 or 8 people the same question. You're not the only one they asked. They're going around the office. Hey, can you explain to me how da-da-da-da-da? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Then they walk out. They go down the hallway to the next office. Hey, I have a question. Could you explain to me how da-da-da-da-da? Oh my gosh. Wow, that's how that works. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you for your help. That was really helpful. Then they leave and they go to lunch with someone else on the team. Hey, I have a question. Can you explain to me how da-da-da-da-da? Oh, that's what that means. You want to know what that person? That's a high maintenance person. We also call them an askhole. Okay, an askhole, not an asshole, an askhole, A-S-K. Because they continue to ask the same freaking thing over and over and over again to 10 to 15 different people. Not because they want the answer to the question. This is the point. They're not trying to solve the problem. They want attention. Okay? These people are going to continue to do this. High maintenance, low production. They don't put up any numbers, but they demand a lot of time. Now, does it make them bad people? Of course not. But does it make them productive? Definitely not. Now, what happens if you put all your time with these people? Because you don't see it, you don't identify, you just want to help everybody. You like being needed. You spend all your time because you want to contribute and you really want to help your people have the best. What happens is that your best people get no time from you. They get no attention from you because you're constantly solving everybody else's problem. And so now you have your highest growth individuals, the people that put up the majority, the 10 to 20% of your people that put up 80% of your numbers for your company. They don't really get a lot of time, effort, and energy from you. Why? Because they're low maintenance. Now, there is such a thing as high maintenance and high production. I've got those people too. They need me all day long, but they're putting up big numbers. And so it's worth it. It's an investment, right? But what happens to the people that don't ask a lot of questions? That don't go seeking out a lot of coaching, sometimes to their detriment. Now, maybe you're here and you're like, well, that high maintenance person is definitely not me. I never call my coach. I never need anything. And if I do, I figure it out. Well, guess what? That's me. That's me. In fact, there was a time in my career where I got stuck. Why did I get stuck? I got stuck because of the fact that I was so low maintenance and high production that it was hindering my growth. I actually would have benefited to be a little bit more high maintenance, to start calling Dan more often, to start calling Mylette more often, to start calling Rich Stolley, my mentors, right? To start calling them more often. I would have benefited from that. But I didn't have that going on at that time. So I actually plateaued at one point in my career. And then my buddy David Lynn was like, hey, you should get closer to Dan. It would make you a lot more money. But when you got low maintenance, high production people, or people that have the potential to be huge production, if you just gave them more time and energy, man, you got to have the available time and focus to be able to dedicate to these people, because these are the people that are going to build your whole entire company. So let's talk about low maintenance, high production people. These people are often self-motivated. You don't have to call them and motivate them. They're already fired up. They wake up freaking fired up because they know what they want. They're self-driven, which means they get themselves to go every day. They get themselves where they're trying to go. They're mentally tough. And when these people seek out coaching, typically they've already gone through all the solutions that they can think of and all the solutions that are available in their minds before they called you. They've probably got really specific questions like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. This is where I'm at. These are the options that I'm thinking of. I just want feedback. Am I missing anything? And what do you think I should do? What do you think is my best route? This is what I'm thinking. Do you agree, disagree? What do you see that I don't see? See, that's someone who's low maintenance. They've already went through the whole scenario in their mind, and they've already checked off all the possibilities before they go get coaching. These are people that consistently produce high numbers, and they require very little crisis intervention. In fact, if they ever do really need something, it's because they really need something. See, I've got people on the team that when I hear from them, when they call me, I answer because they don't call very often. I'm not saying don't call often, because you should. The more coaching you get, the better. But like in my case, if I'm calling my coaches, I got one coach, which is Dan. If I'm calling Dan, Dan knows I'm calling for a reason. I'm not just calling because I'm bored. He knows I'm calling for a reason. And if I have a problem, I've already ran the problem through my mind a lot of times. Now, what's the impact that low maintenance, high production people have on a business? Well, let me tell you what I wrote down. These people are the backbone of tenacity, right? So I was taking notes for myself. These are the people that are the backbone of your company, meaning that everything rises and falls on this group. They're independent. and their high productivity. So they drive the business forward. You got to have these people on your team, and you got to identify them when you have them. These are the people that drive all the numbers, all of them. John Maxwell, he talks about in the book called, oh man, he's got so many books. The Law of Momentum. In the Law of Momentum, he says that these people help create growth and success in a company. Low maintenance, high production. They create growth and success in the company. They also support leadership. So instead of draining leadership, they support the leadership. Them being low maintenance and high production frees time for leadership to focus on growth inside of the entire organization rather than just micromanaging everybody. So how do you develop more low maintenance, high production people? Now I want you to think for a second, for you, if you're in a position like me where you're building a company and you've got employees or you've got, agents that work for you and work with you, do you think you as a leader attract high maintenance people or low maintenance people? Now, some of us, there was a time in my career where I think I was attracting high maintenance people because I had the need to be needed. Like I was new in my leadership, and I thought it was so cool to be in a leadership position and be a coach. And so I always wanted everybody to want my help. This is years ago. Geez, like 8, 9, 10 years ago. But I was so new where if I was problem solving and coaching someone and helping someone, I felt like I was being productive. And so as a result, what do you end up attracting? You end up attracting people that want to be helped, because that's what you're looking for. And what you put out is what you get back. Let me tell you how you build high maintenance or low maintenance, high production people. Low maintenance, big numbers. Low energy, big cash flow. Low energy, big business, right? That's the kind of people that I want, where they require low energy from me, like little to no emergency crisis, constant need for help, but they put up big numbers. Focus on actually training your people and giving them everything they need. Giving them everything they need. The book, Developing the Leader Within You, talks about equipping your people, right? The Bible talks about equipping your people. And giving them what they need in order to go get the job done, in order to go run the race successfully. Focus on actually training people, actually giving them the skill sets needed for them to succeed in whatever they're trying to do. Look at your training program. Look at your systems. Look at the things you talk about every day when you're talking to your team, when you're training your employees in your company. Are you equipping them for success, or are you equipping them to be needing you? Are you training them to be independent, or do you have a culture that thrives and surrounds on everybody needing your help in order to win? If everybody's relying on you as the coach for their success as the teammate, then you have a culture that is breeding high maintenance, low production. What a freaking nightmare that would be. If you've got a system and a culture that is teaching and grooming your people to need your help in order for them to be successful, you are breeding and developing a culture of misery, a culture of high maintenance, high emergency, constant need for you to be on your phone, constant phone calls, constant coaching calls, constant crisis intervention, little to no business and little to no cash flow and little to no success, and ultimately zero autonomy, zero freedom, and zero lifestyle, because you constantly have to be the man in order for your team to win. That is a nightmare. And so you got to look at your culture and look at your systems and go, what do we have in place right now to get our people actually independent? Great leaders, great coaches, great trainers develop their people. And your team can only be as good as you are. The leader cannot develop agents to be something that the leader is not. And so you got to look at your stuff and go, man, what kind of culture am I breeding? What kind of culture are we creating? Because you have a culture, whether you like it or not. And if it's not a culture that gives you autonomy, which is like complete freedom and independence, then it's a recipe for disaster. Also, setting clear expectations. So when someone starts working in business with me, we're setting clear expectations up front that we want them to be highly productive and self-sufficient. So we create what? We create systems and frameworks and processes, and that's everything. Systems and processes that help ensure that our agents know where to go when they need something, and it doesn't always have to be to me. If you could go to Google to get the answer, why are you calling me? If you could go to Chat GPT to get the answer, why are you calling me? If you could call home office, or you could call the product provider in the company and ask directly, if you could pull up the product brochure, why are you calling me? Right? So it's creating self-sufficient people that know where to go in order to get the results. Now, last thing I want to talk about. What are the long-term benefits of switching your culture and focusing on having a culture that creates low maintenance, high production, high success people? Number one is scalability. You could go from here to here to here to here to here to here to here and continue to grow if you have low maintenance, high productive people, which means that I'm not spending all day long solving problems. Instead, I'm spending all day long driving business. And we don't have a problem creating culture where everyone always has a problem because that's how they get attention. I want to have a culture where the attention goes to the people that are kicking butt. You know, that's where the attention's at. You want attention? Go put up some numbers. You don't have to have an emergency. See, oftentimes, especially in interpersonal relationships, some people grow up from a childhood standpoint where they got attention by having a problem. That's how they got attention. You know, and then we take that into adulthood, and then we take that into business, and it's not healthy, and they don't do it on purpose necessarily. But if you have a culture where whenever someone's got a problem, they become the center of attention, then that's going to breed more problems. Okay, so scalability, when high performing, low maintenance people come in business, the business becomes scalable. And that's what I want. High performing, low maintenance people. Those people are going to drive the team. When you have that, the team's going to grow in compounding growth exponentially because it's not being weighed down by all the high maintenance people that are just looking for catastrophe and crisis therapy. And I say that with the most respect possible, but you get the gist. Like if every day is a problem, then we're in the problem solving business. We're not even in business. Okay. The other thing that benefits long-term is you have a team culture that's healthy, a culture of excellence and independence. And that's ultimately what I want. I want independent people that could think for themselves, solve problems for themselves, be resourceful, be creative, and win, because they will attract other self-motivated, self-driven people just like themselves. And that's the secret to business. The kind of leader that you are is the kind of leader you will attract. Okay, the kind of leader you are is the kind of leader you will attract. The kind of thinker you are is the kind of thinker you will attract. Because like attracts like. We attract people like ourselves. And when you create a self-sufficient, high-performing culture, you bring in more top producers. You will attract more top talent. Because top talent is very low maintenance, very high production. That's top talent. That's the kind of person you want. They're no drama, all results. Doesn't mean they're a robot. That doesn't mean they're perfect. We're people. But it means they know how to think. They know how to process things. So when you think about building a business, here's what I want you to know. In my years of building a business, I've had high maintenance, low production people. I've had high maintenance, high production people. Those are tolerable. Hopefully we teach them to become a little less low maintenance and they learn and they grow. I've had low maintenance, high production people. Those are a dream. And I've had low maintenance, low production people. Like they're low maintenance, but they also do nothing. but at least they're low maintenance, so it's okay. Here's what I think I would tell you. You want to keep everybody. You want all of them. Even if you're high maintenance, I still want you on the team because we still believe in you. We still love you. We still care about you. As long as you're not high maintenance and you're also combative and you're also resentful and you're also drama and you're also intentionally harmful and malicious, and you're toxic, then we don't want you. But if you're just high maintenance because you just don't know any better and that's what you've been taught, and that you grew up in a family where that was okay and that's how you got attention, and there's just some growth areas. You're high maintenance because you care. It's not even on purpose. You have no ill intent. Yeah, we want you. We want you on the team. But if you're toxic, then no. And in our last episode on how to find the right recruits, we talked about high production, but they're also toxic. High production, but they lack character and integrity, and high talent without character is a nightmare. Okay, so I don't want that either. At the end of the day, I want good people. And good people could be high maintenance. They're still good people. And then we just teach them how to be low maintenance, and hopefully we teach them how to be productive. Eventually, everybody has an appointment with success. I really believe that. I don't know if it's 1 year down the road, 1 month down the road, or 10 years down the road, but I believe God has given everybody an appointment with success. And in success, I mean the day where your goals and the things that you want for you and your family come to fruition if you do your part. So if you're in business and you have an opportunity to do something great, I believe that one day, at some point, everyone will have a chance to hit their goal and build their dream life for their family while here on earth before we move on to, whatever God has that's better for us, God willing, someday. But I believe that everybody has a chance to achieve their goal here. I just don't know what it is. It's different for everybody. For some people, it's 6 months into the business. For some people, it happens overnight. For other people, they're on the team for 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13 years before they strike gold and hit success. But I believe it's going to happen for everyone eventually if you do your part. And whether you're high maintenance or low maintenance, high productive, low productive, all of that can change. I think that all flows back and forth one way or the other. But if I'm building a team, I'm looking for high production, low maintenance, low drama, low extra, and just people that know how to get the job done and win. All right, you guys, that's episode 9, I think. And excited to be here. Grateful to be back on schedule. Thankful to our producer, Jay Justin here, and for everything he does to put out great content for us and make us look 10 times better than we actually are. Thank you guys for your support, all the shares. We'll see you soon, and God bless you.